I mean, you're 4 years now as an NFL head coach, 4 years in. Do you now, Zach, begin to feel a different level of comfort in your position? I mean, naturally than you would have in I think it was February of 2019 when you took that job.
I do. I think every year feels like 4 years, in a sense. And,
Really?
we play so many games, so many
Yeah.
preseason games, so many regular season games. We've had 2 long playoff runs now. So it does feel like we've all come a long way, just as a staff in general. We've all worked together. I've lost very few coaches over these last couple of years. We've had a lot of continuity there, a lot of the same faces on the team. So, yeah, we feel like we've all learned from our experience, and there's still a long ways to go, too. I know in 5-10 years from now, the things I'll learn I never could have imagined. So it's fun gaining that experience and being able to learn from it.
Zach, speak to your relationship with Joe Burrow. He didn't play at Nebraska, but everyone around him did, and you played at Nebraska. So I'm sure just between the Burrow family, you played with Dan. I mean, you've got just a connection with him. And when you have a quarterback like Joe, I'm sure it makes your job a lot more fun.
It does. Joe's a special person, special player, makes your job feel a lot easier at times because he can just execute at such a high level. And he's so much fun to coach because he's coachable. He doesn't feel like he's got all the answers. He wants to hear what you have to say. And I miss Joe and I miss Jamie and Dan. I just miss those guys as I transferred in. I think Dan was the one right in front of me, but I've got to know that family, just through being at games. And so it's a really special family.
Zach, I mean, you're a quarterback. I mean, now you're leading that organization. How much personal responsibility do you feel to keep pushing Joe Burrow to improve? I mean, this is a very talented guy, but he surely has room to improve, right? And how much of that do you take on?
Well, when you've got great players, there's great expectations, and that's why you're in this profession. You want that. You don't want there to be low expectations and no one expecting anything of you. And so part of that is making sure that the team improves every year. And Joe's a big leader on the team, and he takes that upon himself as well. And so just navigating those waters with him and with a lot of the other captains we have, it's Joe doesn't have a lot of weaknesses. He's constantly improving. If he does, over the course of a game or two, he quickly corrects them, and he's really good at identifying that and selfless that way. And he usually ends the season playing at a really high level as he learns over the course of the season things that we got to improve on as a unit.
Well, you've got some former Huskers as well on your roster. Obviously, Stanley Morgan, but Cam Taylor-Britt came in as a rookie, second-round draft pick. Correct me if I'm wrong, Zach, by season's end, he was playing as well as any corner out there. Some of the plays he made for you. What is the buzz on Cam Taylor-Britt and kind of his future in the NFL after this season?
Yeah, he had kind of an abdominal injury in training camp, and didn't get to play in any preseason games. So he was having a good training camp. We're excited about him. He missed all 3 preseason games. I think he missed the first 6 weeks of the season as he started the season kind of on IR there. So that was a challenge to miss all that time as a rookie, and then for him to jump in and play the way he did. Really, his appearance on the field coincided with us losing a starting corner, Cheeto Awuzie, to an ACL, and so he was thrust into that role, and it got better every single week. And was really excited about the future for Cam.
Was there something you saw in particular at Nebraska that indicated he would be able to handle it immediately? I mean, I guess you take him in the second round. That's what you're expecting, right?
He's really passionate about the game. You can see that. He's got tremendous athleticism, really good ball skills. I mean, you can see that on the tape from Nebraska. We saw that in training camp. Just in DB drills, you can see he's kind of got receiver-type ball skills, really good awareness. Yeah. Some guys, even in this league, don't track the ball down the field well at all. He's got a knack for that. He only had 1 pick this year, but I think that number will really improve as the years go by. But really competitive. One of our most competitive practice players, always locked in, and I really enjoy being around his personality.
Zach, you're 39, right? 39.
39. Yeah, I had to think about that, but yeah, you're right.
Still pretty young, and obviously you're clearly now cut out to coach the NFL. It looks very natural. We watch you. But does coaching in college ever cross your mind? I mean, can I answer your question?
No. They're going to have to carry me out of here in a casket.
Is that right?
Yeah, I love it. Just specifically in Cincinnati. It's a really good fit for my family and myself, just with myself and the other coaches and ownership and Duke Tobin, and I can't ever imagine myself anywhere else. So they'll have to kick me out of here.
Well, and something too, Zach, I know that a lot of pro guys say is attractive about the pros is you guys get a true off season. Like, if you're coaching at Nebraska or Oklahoma or someone, you're getting ready for junior days in March and you're texting guys, DMing guys, doing all the, like Matt Rules in Phoenix tonight at an NIL fundraiser. You're in Florida, getting a workout in West Palm Beach, and your wife's shopping, and you're going to watch the Super Bowl and just relax. That's got to be attractive.
That part's good, but the season is a grind. You start late July, and like us, we finished, in late January, and there's not a game off. There's no, man, we're going to roll these guys on Sunday afternoon. You might feel that way, but it never works out that way. And so, every team, you got to be ready. And so it's 17 of your toughest games you got to play, and then you got to ready for the playoffs. So I think the intensity level each week, for 6 months, it's pretty intense. Not that it isn't in college. There's plenty of people that do with them as well. But the offseason, I think, is an advantage of the NFL. There's still work to be done, but I don't really look at my phone that much. There's not a lot of texts or calls that I got to return immediately, and I know that's a big difference in college.
Zach, it's interesting what you just said. They would have to carry you out of Cincinnati in a casket. You love that job so much. Yeah. What is it about the city, and maybe expand on what it is about the organization that why has it been such a good fit for you in your estimation?
Same values that I grew up with in Norman and spent time in Lincoln and Kansas, and the people are Midwestern people. I always thought I was from the Midwest. I've learned I'm not. This is the Midwest where I live now. You guys are in the Plains region, as I've come to accept. Okay. But the people are just very down to earth, hardworking, really good people, treat their neighbors the right way. That's very much how the Brown and Blackburn family is with me. It's just share values, constant communication, very much in alignment. I know that's a special thing to have in this league. It's not always that way. And so I don't take it for granted, and I just really enjoyed, and my family's really happy here as well.